Exclusive exit interview with Punit Soni. Now remember, he was one of the high-profile hires from Silicon Valley that Flipkart made, and the third big exit in recent months after Mukesh Bansal and Ankit Nagori. Punit Soni, of course, was the Chief Product Officer of the company, spearheading many key initiatives. Punit, thank you so much for talking to 18 Hour Startup Central. You know, considering you joined just a year back, March 2015, what led to the exit I mean, what really triggered your exit at the end of it?
You know, I think it's been an interesting professional and personal journey for me over the last year. You know, I have been in Google before this for quite a long time, and this was in many ways a big professional step for me. I wanted to come to India, experience it, work in the middle of some interesting problems, challenges, and people, and see where things go from here. I think what I've realized over the last year slowly and steadily is that my interests lie in certain areas that might be slightly orthogonal from what Flipkart is working on and e-commerce is about. And so over time, I have kind of been asking myself, what should I focus my energies on? And there's sufficient deviation between that and Flipkart's core business that it's time for me to go do something else.
Punit, what about, initiatives such as Ping or even the app-only strategy? Did the muted response to these sort of disillusion you, leading to your exit?
No, not at all. You know, it's interesting. There's a lot of noise around app-only strategy. The truth is, Flipkart's ambitions for app-only strategy had been around before I had even joined. In fact, in the last year, we have actually brought the Flipkart mobile website back and the Flipkart desktop back. I have always consistently believed that a mobile-only strategy is a strategy of mindset, not channel. And in terms of channel, we should always go where the consumer has gone. And I think those things have gone very well. So no disillusionment from that perspective. E-commerce is going to be big, Chandra. I think it's going to be huge. India will see a very significant winner in this space. I think that, this is just the tip of the iceberg. And Flipkart, by the way, is positioned rightfully so as the leader and has a shot at actually doing this. But perhaps it's time for me to go do something else, something probably closer to my passion.
But what is closer to your heart then, Punit? What will we see you doing going forward?
We'll talk about the details of that probably in a few months. I guess the basic framework of that is I've been spending some time thinking about some pretty significant existential issues that I see in the world. I always have wondered if there was a way to use technology to solve those kind of things. I'm not ready yet to talk about the exact spaces. There's a couple of areas that are very interesting. What I intend to do, however, is actually kick off a startup. I have a very interesting, stellar partner. We're gonna work on it together, and we'll find the product market fit. I've always believed that the way to actually solve problems is to actually identify a problem space first, and then spend time talking to the users who are affected by the problem and let them drive the solution, the product that has to be built. There is some time for me to clarify that. What I just have right now is broad spaces, and I want to be discreet about it till I actually figure it out a little bit better.
Will we see you staying back in India then, or moving back to the Valley? What's the plan as far as that is concerned?
You know, I've always said that my home is in US and my heart is in India, and so whatever I do has to have a connection with both of those two places. My plan is to move back to the Valley. That's where my friends are. That's where my investors are. That's where my, most of my, ecosystem of things are. It's relatively easy for me to build something or start something from there. But it will have an India angle. What kind of an angle, we'll have to just wait and see. But it will be back to the Valley for me.
Punit, but talking about the entire market here, do you think that there will still be room for 5 horizontal marketplaces in India, considering that consumer internet e-commerce is a winner-takes-all in most mature markets such as US and China? What is your own reading into that going forward?
Sure. I think, the e-commerce space in India is absolutely very challenging. It's very interesting. There's a lot of potential in it, but it is also a very difficult market, mostly probably set up because of the cycle of valuations, GMV growth, discounts, valuation, GMV growth, and so on and so forth that we have already seen in the market. I think it's important to actually break that. A few ways that it could be broken is if there's way more discipline and rigor around the entire supply chain of e-commerce. Another way would be if there was innovation. And innovation actually doesn't mean flashy things like we'll build AI and VR and drones and throw them out, or build new kinds of apps. Innovation actually means eking out and grinding out every single ounce of margin from the entire supply chain of e-commerce. I think that slowly and steadily that rigor is setting into the market. Now, history has said, and if you look at precedents in other developed markets, typically e-commerce is the kind of space which is a winner takes all. So I do believe that there will be a very substantial winner, a single winner, and then there will be probably a second player who will have the rest of the market. If you look at something like China, about 70% is Alibaba and then 30% is the next one. I think that something similar to that will happen in India too. In US, it's a completely different story. It's completely and absolutely dominated by Amazon. But I don't expect a market where you're going to see 3 or 4 players who are doing reasonably well. It will be consolidated, and there will be a big winner over the years, and then the next one. And I pray and hope, and I'm very confident that Flipkart has a shot at being that.
Punit, will you be willing to stick your neck out and tell us where Flipkart is going to be? Is it going to be the bigger winner, the second, take the second place? We really want you to give us your view before we let you go.
I'm not going to stick my neck out to that one. I think that, I'm a Flipkart, a Flipster person. I have spent time in the company. I love the company. My team is phenomenal. It's probably the best product team outside of US at this point of time. If I had to hedge my bets, I would say that Flipkart has a very big shot at actually being that company. It's all about execution. It's all about rigor. And I'm very hopeful that happens. And, about me, I have, been very bullish about India. My plan is to keep advising, investing, talking to as many startups as I can, and helping in any way I can if it's possible.
Find us on Facebook at facebook.com/etnow, and don't forget to click the like button. You can also follow us on Twitter at etnowlive. To stay updated with all our programming, hit the subscribe button on our YouTube channel by logging on to youtube.com/user/etnow.